It's a good thing that they won all these awards because this is a good example of how to do this. And it's a good example to other companies of how to do this. They avoided doing too much. They didn't build an open world game. They chose something that they were passionate about making, and it was a little bit more focused with the turn-based RPG mechanics. They built it over 5 to 6 years, which means you're not trying to get it done in 3 to 4 and crunching the crap out of your team that entire time. They focused on what they wanted to do. They didn't expand beyond that. They weren't chasing the newest trend, and they didn't make a photorealistic game. Now, that to be said, the game does visually look good, but I think that stems more from the art choices and art direction while being sufficient in visuals rather than trying to seek that top of the line visual. They had some lower labor costs. We already talked about kind of how cheap it was on the team. They literally outsourced animation to another studio to take care of kind of that grunt work rather than hiring on hundreds of people that they couldn't afford. And then they focused on picking up people and giving them their biggest break. The composer, I'm pretty sure they found off of Reddit. One of the voice actresses that won a major reward was doing side characters her whole career. She had never done a major character. So I think this is a good example of not necessarily going out and hiring the Nolan Norths for every game, but trying to find those diamonds in the rough because A, they can get their big break, and B, you aren't spending that top tier dollar on something you don't necessarily need to when you have a smaller budget. I'm not talking about this for the Call of Duties that have the hundreds of $1 million budgets. This is a good example of how to make what is essentially a AA, AAA game on a shoestring budget and do it efficiently. And hopefully other companies take a look at this.
Yeah, I mean, I thoroughly agree. The amount of money that these AAA studios are throwing into these games is part of the reason that they're trying to also bump all of our games up to $80.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we have spent an excessive amount of money on this because we don't understand how to optimize, which is obviously very obvious given, how good it runs on a 5090, only 60 frames, by the way. But, still give us $80 anyways. Like, it's stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I think more than anything, Expedition 33 has proven to gamers as a whole that you can do a lot with a little.
Mm-hmm.